Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. Coming up, the shady world of Thailand's surrogacy industry. Also, how women pro-service are finding it hard to catch a wave when it comes to attracting big bucks. And we meet singer supremo Angelique Kidjo, who's been described by Time magazine as Africa's premier diva. But we begin in Thailand, where until recently surrogacy was a thriving yet shady business. However, things could be about to change after a series of highly publicised cases forced Thai authorities to crack down on the industry. In particular, the tale of an Australian couple who refused to take home their baby because the child had Down syndrome. Still, cleaning up the industry will not be an easy task, as entire families depend on it, as our France Van Cat team discovered.
The international business of surrogacy is worth hundreds of millions of euros a year, and Thailand is the hub, a hotbed of surrogate mothers whose newborns end up around the world. In search of the source, we head to the far north of Thailand, to the poor countryside on the border with Burma and Laos. The village of Pak Ork has been given the nickname the Baby Farm. Miss Panada was born here, but unlike most of her childhood friends, she is one of the few not to have succumbed to the temptation of surrogacy.
It's a sin. These babies are their flesh. I don't understand how they have been able to stray so far morally. I know them all. They will regret it one day.
There appears to be a code of silence in the village. Most houses in one local hamlet here are empty. Home to no fewer than 22 surrogate mothers to 20 families, they have since fled or are in hiding after being alerted by their agents in Bangkok to the growing scandal over surrogate parenting. We have to go to the pagoda to find one of the few people who will agree to broach the subject.
I'm a monk, a religious person, so I have nothing to fear from the truth. And the truth is that everyone here is involved, one way or the other. The rich and powerful, everyone. I'm not afraid to say it. The police, the doctors, they're all involved in this immoral human trafficking.
Indeed, this is what investigators fear, that there are many, many people with their fingers in this murky industry.
One of the problems in Thailand is try to make the law, or law enforcement is sometimes a problem.
Back in Pak Ork, the baby farm of northern Thailand, we were tipped off on where to find a surrogate mother.
That's her? All right, let's go.
This 24-year-old gave birth in Bangkok 2 months ago, in the since-closed IVF clinic. Her pregnancy earned her 7,000 euros, and the baby was delivered to a couple in Germany.
I've done a good deed for foreigners who couldn't have children. I see nothing wrong with it. It's a good job. What bothers me is when I hear that there are people who earn a lot of money abroad through our bellies. Afterwards, when there's a problem, surrogate mothers like me, they have to hide like criminals. It's not fair.
The surrogate scandal will probably push the government here to pass new laws, reducing surrogacy parenting and drying up a major source of income in the countryside.
Now, Time magazine has called her Africa's premier diva. Angelique Kidjo is a Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter and activist from Benin, now living in New York. She's worked with a diverse selection of artists, including Peter Gabriel, Alicia Keys and Bono, and her latest album is entitled Eve, and it's a celebration of womanhood, and we're lucky to say she's here with us in the studio today. Hello, Angelique.
Hello, Annette.
Let's take a listen to your new album. Angelique Kidjo, that's truly beautiful music. Now, you entitled the album Eve. It's after your mother, but it also seems to be very much a celebration of all things female.
Absolutely. Women are the center of the world, and we are the backbone of the world, and it's so true for my continent. We are the backbone of Africa. Without women, there's no humanity, and the story of Eve is the mother of all. And for one reason or another, I don't know who decided to blame Eve for what happened between her and Adam, so we become the villain of the stories.
Now, you also worked with French-Nigerian artist Asher, as we saw there in that album, and you sang about the need for African women to unite. Now, as you just talked about there, it is a continent rife with conflict. How do you think women can play a special role?
First of all, by being given the humanity that they deserve, and giving them the credit of the intelligence, not only seeing them as victims, because it doesn't solve any problem. If you non-stop, day after day, just see victims in people that can have solution and find solution in their own right, we won't find any solutions. So we have to get out of this phantasma era where the rich country will say, do as we said, but don't do what you want to do and what we can do to help you. We have a brain, and we are powerful. We are resilient. We are beautiful. It's not all about conflict in Africa. We are more about more things that nobody wants to see, no one wants to talk about. Africa is the richest continent on the planet, yet not one economist, not one politician, not one person in the world can explain to me where our wealth go and what it does for the African women to take lead in their own life. If we have our resources invested in our people, we'll be talking about a different story right now.
Now, you are very much a humanitarian. You're very much an activist. You've spoken out on Darfur. You've spoken out about those kidnapped schoolgirls in Nigeria. How much of your music is motivated by passing on messages, and what sort of messages are you wanting to talk about?
Well, my music is basically based on the tradition of my country. Especially in my family, the traditional music of the southern part of Benin and the northern part, and pretty much everywhere in Africa, tell a story. That's because our history is oral, it has been oral for centuries. So to know where your ancestors were and who they were, you need storytellers, you need singers to tell you who they are. So for me, de facto, I became the voices of the one that have no voice, because I can say things and sing about things that people tell me to talk about, because it touches me. I'm a human being before being an artist or an African woman. So if we don't give to people the chance to transform their own lives, we cannot deal with any problem, and no solution will be viable in the long term.
Angelique, thank you for those very strong words. We're going to come back to you in a moment. And now for a bit of a change of pace. And more female professional surfers are challenging the traditional macho surf culture. They're fighting to prove that they're more than just beach babes on boards. Catherine Villette reports on while attitudes are slowly changing, women are still struggling to gain both professional respect and money.
Women surfers are stepping out from the shadows and into the limelight. The sport's popularity has exploded in recent years, attracting a new wave of enthusiasts. This in turn has upped the level of competition, putting it nearly on par with that of their male counterparts. But many surfers say they still have to market their image as a beach babe in order to get noticed on the circuit.
I think it's part of the game, but we can't forget that we're athletes first, and we still have to focus on our sports performance rather than our physique. But you still have to play both sides, because in women's surfing we sell the bikinis and the dreams, and that's what also draws the media.
Surfing-related businesses have seen the sport's progression and the new opportunities available thanks to the rise of female surfers. Marketers say it's not just about swimwear and beauty products anymore.
Smith's is a sports brand, and of course we sell products for women too, but it's the performance we're looking to find in all our products, whether it's sunglasses, goggles, or helmets. What really counts is the performance.
And competitions dedicated to women surfing are proving to the public that these women are real athletes who ride the same waves and take the same risks as men.
It may be women's surfing that will bring greater democratization, that will reach the greater number of people, while the male surfers may be thought to be more about performance, world championship points. Women's surfing has a dual identity, the dream appearance coupled with technical skill.
Even if attitudes are changing, it's still hard for women to catch a wave. There are fewer sponsorship contracts, and the prize money paid to competition winners is on average 5 times less than that of their male counterparts.
Now, Angelique, we heard there just how tough it is for professional women surfers to gain sponsorship, to get financial backing, but it's not just in that sector, it's many other industries, including music.
It's pretty much everywhere. I mean, we've been the second-class citizen when it comes to equal diploma, equal pay. It has been the same everywhere, in music and in arts. I mean, and on top of that, you can add colors, because if you're black, it's different. If you're white, it's different. I'm like, what is it that we as human family cannot come together and just recognize somebody's talent? Doesn't matter if the person is black, white, yellow, or red, or girl, a woman, or a man. And that's where lies the challenge of the future of human family. Because those women are good. The guy that is producing the product they buy is making money out of it, but he's not going to step up and say, the best surfer are women. So why can't women come on board and do the surfer's outfit and sell it and have an entrepreneurship? If the men don't want to come on board, let women do it. But the things we have to have in mind is that we cannot find solution to women's issues without men being on board. The men have to explain to us what is the threat that we pose to them.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you'd like to go and see Angelique perform, you can do so here in Paris on October 14. For more details, you can head to her website. That's www.kidjo.com. And that's it for now. If you'd like to comment on what you've just seen, please head to our Facebook page, France24, the 51%, or do send us a tweet at _51%. Thanks for your feedback so far, and please keep those comments rolling in. In the meantime, let's leave you now with more of Angelique's superb music. Until our next program, bye for now.